When the light fades, part 2. The woman walked slowly up the aisle, her eyes never leaving Nathaniel. The villagers, confused and murmuring, watched as she approached the pulpit. Pastor Nathaniel stood frozen, his face pale as if he had seen a ghost. "Mariam," he whispered under his breath, barely audible, but the woman heard him. "You remember me?" she said, her voice calm but dripping with menace. The church fell into a tense silence. Mariam spoke, her voice soft but sharp, cutting through the air like blade. She told the congregation about a long time ago, a time when Pastor Nathaniel was still a young man, ambitious and full of dreams. She had been his lover then, before he found God and left her behind, pregnant and alone. Her voice quivered with bitterness that had aged like poison. "You left me to die," she said, her eyes locked onto Nathaniel's. "I begged you, I cried for you, and you turned your back on me, choosing your church over me and our child. Now look at you. You hide behind God, but you are no man of faith. You are a liar and you're a thief." "You think I've come to destroy you, Nathaniel?" Mariam continued, her voice now rising. "No, I've come to reveal the man you truly are. You cannot hide from your past forever." Pastor Nathaniel's heart pounded in his chest, his legs trembling underneath his robe as Mariam's words bore down on him. He opened his mouth to speak, to deny the accusations, but no words came. The congregation, wide-eyed and confused, watched their pastor, waiting for him to refute the woman's claims, but the truth had already been spoken. Grace, Nathaniel's wife, who had been sitting at the front, collapsed in shock. Mariam turned and left the church as swiftly as she had arrived, her words hanging in the air like a curse. Nathaniel felt as though the ground beneath him had crumbled. His heart was pounding, his thoughts racing. This life he had so carefully built was collapsing around him. He tried to regain control and lead the congregation in prayers, but his voice faltered, weak and trembling. The weeks that followed were filled with a darkness that spread through the village. St. Peter's once bustling pews became increasingly empty. The whispers of doubt had turned into full-blown accusations. Church funds were missing, and now there were rumors that Pastor Nathaniel had been hiding a scandalous past. The trust he had once enjoyed evaporated, leaving him isolated in his guilt. Every night, Nathaniel was haunted by nightmares. He saw Mariam's face everywhere, in the shadows of his home, the streets, and even in the eyes of his congregation. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that something dark was closing in on him. Like, comment, share for part 3.